I have Dollop tour dates to announce for the year 2024 of our Lord J-Town. We have our 10th anniversary show coming up in Los Angeles on April 27th. Guests are Karen Kilgariff and James Adomian. And then we are going to Australia, starting on May 13th in Perth, May 16th in Sydney, May 18th in Brisbane, May 20th in Canberra, May 22nd in Melbourne, and May 24th in Adelaide. You can get your tickets at dolloppodcast.com.
Discover new opportunities together in a new Chevy. Meet up in an Equinox, winner of the J.D. Power Award for initial quality among compact SUVs. Lend a hand in the strong and capable Silverado, or mix it up in a high-tech Trax with an available 11-inch diagonal touchscreen. Find family, friends, and fun in the Chevy that's right for you. Click to learn more.
See your Colorado Chevy dealer.
For J.D. Power 2023 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
You are listening to The Dollop. This is a sometimes bi-weekly podcast about American history. Each week I read a story from American history to my friend
Gareth Reynolds, who has no idea what the topic is about.
God, you want to look at a dude?
I'll do one bottle.
People say this is funny.
Not Gary Gareth.
Dave, okay.
Someone or something is tickling people.
Is it for fun?
And this is not going to become the tickling podcast.
Okay.
You are Queen Fakey of Made Up Town.
All hail Queen Shit of Liesville. A bunch of religious virgins go to mingle
And do what?
pray.
Hi, Gary.
No.
Nicely done, my friend. Good stuff. September 27th, 1877. Barely with us. Barely with us.
I'm in.
James Dole was born in Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts. His family was of Puritan blood, having arrived in colonial times.
Okay.
His father, Charles, was a Unitarian minister. He often expressed the hope that his son would enter the ministry.
It's nice.
It
It's
is
sweet.
nice. It is sweet.
Yeah.
Charles' first cousin, Sanford Ballard Dole, had gone as a
Jesus.
missionary.
God, the names.
Ballard is a horrific.
Sanford Ballard?
Yeah.
Got a ring to it, huh? Got a nice ring to it, that one.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
3 Ds.
Sanford Ballard, get in here!
Yeah, it's not good. They called him Sandball.
Oh, cool. So at least he had a normal, fine nickname.
He had gone as a missionary to Hawaii. Sanford became a lawyer, devoting his life to modernizing Hawaii, and became a force in turning the islands into a state.
Okay.
James Dole attended Harvard, where he concentrated on agriculture and horticulture. In 1899, with his degree in hand, Dole made his way to Hawaii, with his total savings about $1,500.
Not bad.
Intent upon making his fortune. At first, he lived with his cousin, Sanford, in Honolulu.
Right.
All sounds pretty good right now. It sounds like a nice...
Sanford and brother.
Yep. Within 2 weeks, quote, within 2 weeks, I found the town quarantined for 6 months by an outbreak of bubonic plague.
Oh, Jesus.
So that's bad.
Yeah.
During the winter, I saw the fire department, with the timely aid of a stiff wind, burn down all of Chinatown.
Sorry, who burned down Chinatown?
The fire department.
So, in these times, was the fire department a department that just made fire?
In the 1800s, the fire department was on the other side.
I'm glad we made that switch. That was an important switch.
It says the intention was to disinfect with fire only 1 or 2 blocks.
Disinfect with fire? Disinfect what?
I guess
Buildings, not people.
Maybe the Chinese.
The Chinese? That's
I
not
don't know.
disinfecting.
Well, they had different words for different things back then.
See that? Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Well, so they disinfected
That's
all
a
of
fun way to
Chinatown.
put it. That's a fun way to put a Chinese genocide.
Positive spin.
Yeah.
The whole place is disinfected.
No, yeah, it's like it's like the Freedom Act.
Yeah. Hey, we cleaned Chinatown.
Hey, Chinatown, spotless. Spotless.
And gone.
Yeah.
The Hawaiian economy was dependent on a single product, sugar. Attempts to grow rubber, coffee, fruits, and vegetables had all failed. Dole wrote, I first came to Hawaii with some notion of growing coffee, and I heard that fortunes were being made in Hawaiian coffee.
Dole, huh?
I began homesteading a 64-acre farm in the rural district of the island of Oahu at a place called Wahai. Waha?
Oh man, this
Fuck
is
that.
a great one for your pronunciation.
Wahaiwa. It's about 25 miles from Honolulu.
Okay.
Dole borrowed money, and on August 1st, 1990, he bought the land.
I think he's going to get fruity.
What?
Yeah.
He quickly deduced the land was better suited to pineapples than anything else.
Pineapples.
Others had tried pineapples, but the fruit does not travel well, and they all failed. James decided to sell pineapples in cans, which was also a difficult thing to do. He planted about 75,000 pineapple slips, and with no knowledge of canning, he started a cannery.
That's how you do it, man.
That's a terrible phrase.
Cannery's also not a good... We can come up with something better.
No, I like cannery.
Can factory.
That's terrible.
I mean, I guess actually cannery is the combo of those two.
Hey, can we make that longer?
As you were, cannery.
The people of Honolulu scoffed when 24-year-old James D. Dole founded the Hawaiian Pineapple Company. The Honolulu Advertiser labeled the company, quote, a foolhardy venture which had been tried unsuccessfully before and was sure to fail again. The Hawaiian business community had little interest in another fly-by-night pineapple company.
Well, I mean, they've been burned by so many pineapple things at that point.
Oh, another asshole pineapple man comes to our island.
Another fly-by-night pineapple man. Fly-by-night.
So Dole was forced to return to Boston briefly, where he raised $14,000 from family and friends.
Wow.
I feel like this is going to pay off for those people.
Yeah, well, I think it will.
And despite the pessimism among Hawaiians, Dole was successful. More financial support came a year later when San Francisco's Hunt brothers, impressed with what he had done, dumped an investment. Dole,
Chris and Mike.
Chris and Mike.
Yep.
I'm not going to say it. There was a guy on my high school basketball team.
You had?
There was a guy named Mike Hunt. Swear to God.
That's tough.
He's really good. Went to the state finals. Dole was something of a technology buff. In 1913, his company had developed a machine that could peel 100 pineapples in a minute.
Whoa.
That's a fucking crazy machine for that time period.
Yeah.
I bet there were some hands lost in that thing.
Oh my God. A lot of Chinese hands in that fucking thing.
He was off and running. 25 years later, he had a vast pineapple plantation. It became the largest plantation in the world with over 20,000 acres devoted exclusively to growing pineapple, using mechanized production and importing foreign workers who were paid at indentured servitude levels.
Nice.
Dole managed to drop the price of his pineapples so low that it drove every other producer out of the business.
Wow.
Throughout the 20th century, Lanai produced over 75% of the world's pineapple crop.
It's a lot.
Did you like that? That was the whole thing.
If that's it, I think we maybe don't put it out.
7:52 a.m., May 20th, 1927. Charles Lindbergh gunned the engine of the Spirit of St. Louis and aimed her down the dirt runway at Roosevelt Field, Long Island.
Whoa.
What?
What is about to happen?
What?
Whoa.
Heavily laden with fuel, the plane bounced down the muddy field, gradually becoming airborne, and barely cleared the telephone wires at the field's edge. A crowd of 500 watched. Working as a mail pilot a year earlier, he had heard of the $25,000 prize for the first flight between New York and Paris. Backed by a group of St. Louis businessmen, Lindbergh supervised the building of his special plane and set out after the prize. Lindbergh equipped himself with 4 sandwiches, 2 canteens of water, and 451 gallons of gas.
Sorry, so it was a contest to see who could fly from LA to New York?
From New York to Paris.
Or New York to Paris. And it was $25,000 to the winner of that.
So businessmen backed him up, and they built a plane. Which
but other people, was it just like was it like the gold rush? Like anyone who did it first got $25,000?
Yeah, basically.
Isn't that inviting a lot of plane crashes?
Let's read on.
Oh, Jesus.
On the evening of May 21st, he crossed the coast of France, followed the Seine River to Paris. Seine?
Seine.
I don't know how to. I'm not going to get into
Seine.
that. Is that what it is? Seine?
Yeah, the Seine River. Seine.
Seine?
No.
They don't do
Ce
the
n'est pas Seine. C'est Seine.
Jesus Christ. Glad you're here. Seine. It's
Seine.
just
Seine.
Even all the other letters. Just out the door.
It is a little underpronounced. Sure.
So he touched down at 10:22 p.m. in Paris. The crowd waiting of 100,000 people rushed the plane. He became an instant hero. The Lone Eagle, he was called. The New York City gave him the largest ticker tape parade ever. The president awarded him the Distinguished Flying Cross. His feat electrified the nation and inspired enthusiastic interest in aviation.
Okay.
One of the men his flight inspired was James Dole.
Okay.
James immediately thought this new mode of transportation could kill off his final big competitor.
Boy, he was a real pineapple animal.
He was a pineapple monster.
Yeah.
He wanted to be the pineapple king.
He was a pine animal.
He announced the Dole Air Race.
Jesus.
This time...
That's okay. That sounds a little Aryan.
This time the goal was the Pacific.
Okay. So...
Dole put up $35,000 in prizes for the first planes to make the Pacific crossing. $25,000 to the first plane and $10,000 to the second.
Dave.
What?
Now we're back to my question.
The reaction was quick, eager, and enthusiastic. Pilot after pilot announced he was going after the money. There were two goals. One, of course,
live
the money. And two, the glory of making the first flight across the 2,400 ocean miles, which never had been crossed before in the air.
That's a good amount. That's a nice distance
long.
To make an idiot fly.
Well, I wouldn't say idiot.
I think some of these people will be idiots.
I don't know why you'd think that.
Because, for a number of reasons, we're doing a dollop about it.
Okay, that doesn't mean anything.
We're still idiots, and this is what has happened repeatedly through history. Greed over matter.
I don't follow you.
Okay.
Anyway. Almost immediately, the first flight honor was gone. On March 28th, a month after Dole announced the race, two young Army lieutenants, Lester Maitland and Albert Hegenberger, took a three-engine Fokker, F-O-K-K-E-R? Fokker, military monoplane up from Oakland Airport, headed west, and made it safely to Wheeler Field, Oahu. It took them 25 hours and 50 minutes, and they were the first ever to complete the long and lonely trip. But the Dole flyers told themselves Maitland and Hegenberger were Army. No civilians yet had flown the Pacific, so they still had the glory of being the first.
What? I mean, that's really nitpicky. I mean, they did it. What's the point?
But they were also wrong about the civilian thing. A young airmail pilot named Ernie Smith and his navigator Emery Bronte in a monoplane called City of Oakland took off from Oakland Field on July 4th. That's the worst plane name ever.
Yeah.
Ever. That's the worst plane name ever.
City
of Oakland.
City of Oakland.
The City of Oakland's coming in. They reached the Hawaiian Islands completely out of gas, and they crash-landed in a thorn tree on the island of Molokai 26 hours and 36 minutes later. It wasn't Honolulu, but it was Hawaii, and the civilians had done it. So the Dole racers were like, well, okay, we're going to get the money, and then, fame.
But
the distance was almost as long as Lindbergh's flight, and the conditions were arguably worse. And the small islands would be much, 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 much harder to find than the continent of Europe.
It's not good.
It's fine.
It's not fine.
Experts cautioned that a race wasn't the best way to attempt such a dangerous journey.
We need to start listening to experts more.
But Dole ignored them.
They're always there. They're always there saying the right thing.
I don't know. This could all work out great.
This won't work out great.
August, you know what I always think of as the Hanna-Barbera cartoon when I was writing this, where they did the little race cars. It was really.
Oh,
you remember that? Probably not.
No.
On August 8th, when the entry list closed with 15 planes in competition, the official drawing for starting positions took place in the office of Captain C.W. Sanders.
Wait. Sorry, what's happening? The starting positions?
So many people wanted to do it.
It's a race?
Well, so many people wanted to do it. So instead of just people jumping in a plane and doing it,
they made it a cannonball run?
All these people made their intentions to do it. So they're like, all right, we got to.
An organized race.
Yeah.
What? This is like fucking the balloons in Cleveland, but with human lives.
Have you seen airplanes by...
Sorry?
The Disney movie, Dusty,
Oh, I haven't seen that.
voiced by Dan Cook.
No.
That's probably worse.
Already it sounds like the main plane's hacky, though.
Super hacky.
Yeah.
Not funny. He's not a funny plane.
This is a terrible...
It might be a fine idea.
This is a terrible idea.
How about some optimism?
No!
On August 8th, when the entry list closed with the 15 planes in competition,
this is going to be this is not good.
The official drawing for starting positions took place in the office of Captain C.W. Saunders, California director of the National Aeronautics Association in San Francisco.
He's not very good at his job.
All hands agreed on a starting date. Anyone who jumped the gun relinquished all rights to the prize money. The huge prize money attracted a ragtag mob of adventurers and daredevils.
Not who you want.
There was the legendary Hollywood aerial stuntman Art Goebel, who charged $80 to film a parachute jump and $15,000 to blow up a plane in midair.
Okay, so already this should be a movie.
William Randolph Hearst's son hired a pilot named Jack Frost to fly for him.
Wait,
Yep.
Okay, another Hearst?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Of course, they're going to jump in. Popular cowboy actor Hoot Gibson entered his triplane, Pride of Los Angeles. Legendary World War I flying ace Captain William Irwin was in, while Hawaii local favorite Martin Jensen only managed to enter after his wife rallied the citizens of Honolulu to buy him a plane.
I mean, this cast is great. Can you hit me with some of them again?
We got Hollywood stuntman Art Goebel.
That's right, Art Goebel.
William Randolph Hearst's son hired a pilot named Jack Frost. Popular cowboy actor Hoot Gibson. Legendary World War I flying ace Captain William Irwin. And Martin Jensen, the local kid.
Oh, man.
Position number 13 went to Navy Lieutenants George Koval, married, father of two, and R.S. Wagner, a bachelor, both of San Diego. They had an unnamed, quote, mystery monoplane, reputed to be one of the best in the race.
Okay.
2 days after the number was drawn, Lieutenants Koval and Wagner took off from San Diego and Oakland, flew into a fog, and slammed into an ocean cliff within 15 minutes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They were dead in the flaming airplane when it hit the beach 75 feet below.
This is tough comedically. This is ridiculous, but I mean, two men have just died right away.
Right away.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's fine.
talk about prematurely
It's going to be fine.
aviating.
Preparing for the race, Captain Arthur V. Rogers, 29, flyer and decorated veteran of the Lafayette Escadrille in World War I, took his monoplane Angel of Los Angeles up for a test flight at Western Air Express Field at Montebello. With his wife and infant daughter, Millicent, watching beside the runway, he circled, then plunged 125 feet to the ground, dying instantly.
That was his test run?
Yeah.
He wasn't ready.
Well, we're down 3 racers.
We're losing some of these people. And by the way, I'm not sure if this could be a movie anymore.
Oh, God, it could be a great movie.
I mean, it would be a 20-minute movie.
Well, we've still got...
It would be all set up and then just horrific crashes.
We've still got 10, 12 people.
Okay. All right. We still have our Hollywood stars.
Some people were starting to say, hey, maybe this isn't such a good idea.
Experts.
But there was no stopping the flyers. The tragic accident seemed to give a new edge to their appetite for the adventure, and the public had its interest now captured by the haphazard and perilous drama of it all.
No, it's not perilous. People are dying. The public is enjoying knowing of deaths.
The public would not have heard of a cancellation at this point.
Oh, God.
People began arriving by the thousands at the airport to cheer each contestant as he or she landed in Oakland. They got up close and looked at the planes. Excitement was everywhere. Mildred Doran from Flint, Michigan, was teaching the 5th grade and was a student pilot when she heard about the Dole race. She knew William Molluska of Flint was entering a plane in the contest. Molluska, who owned Lincoln's Oil's gas stations in Michigan, was a former carnival owner and was always looking for a way to promote his business.
Oh, God. I mean, it's a weird time when flying a plane helps your carnival.
No, he doesn't have a carnival anymore. He has a gas station.
Oh, well, okay. But he wants to promote his gas stations, but he used to be a carnival man?
Yeah, he used to be a carnival man.
Okay.
I mean, that's always a good
stand
sign.
by it.
That's always a good sign.
Yeah. Got out of the carnival game finally. Man, that is a vicious, vicious cycle.
Augie Pedler,
Sure, keep going.
the pilot of a Mollusca's plane, was 24, a skinny and hot-tempered lad from Lincoln, Nebraska, who wore a battered straw hat and won the right to fly the little biplane by tossing a coin with a fellow aviator.
What?
The navigator was Lieutenant Villas R. Nobe of San Diego, an Annapolis man. Mollusca agreed Mildred Doran could ride along in the race and decided to name the plane after her. The Miss Doran left on its flight from a small airfield in Grand Blanc Township on July 11th, 1927.
All right, and why don't you hit me with the good news?
Because female flyers are very unusual, Doran's story caught the attention of the public and the media. Mildred was 22, a girl with hazel eyes, olive skin, and curly dark hair. She became a celebrity, interviewed at every stop the plane made on its way to Oakland for the race. Mildred wore 5 fraternity pins on her olive drab flying suit, but when she was asked, she said she wasn't in love. The boys just gave them to her because they were dancing partners.
She sounds like a dancing whore.
This is a great story.
Sounds like she was dancing with a lot of boys.
En route to Oakland from the east, Miss Doran had Miss Doran. It's also the plane's called Miss Doran, so don't get it confused with Miss Doran.
Well, I mean, it's a very weird thing to do.
Miss Doran had sparkbug trouble over the San Joaquin Valley and came down in a wheat field. Mildred explained they had a little trouble making repairs because they had no tools. Quote, "We threw them off at Long Beach because we were in the way. They were in the way and cluttering things up."
The tools were? The tools?
Yep.
To fix your problems were in the way?
The tools were in the way, so they got rid of them.
Interesting.
They were in the way.
Interesting.
Another would-be competitor was Pride of Los Angeles, the plane with 3 wings. Dole aficionados called her a stack of wheats because of her 3-layered appearance.
3 wings?
Yeah.
You mean 3 wings on each side?
I have no idea how. Yeah, it must be. It just says 3 wings.
Well, 3.
Maybe it was one big one across and then 2 little ones.
Okay. All right.
I'm imagining. Or it could be 3. Anyway. Her pilot was Captain J.L. Griffin, a Long Beach attorney, and her navigator, Theodore Lundgren, bondbroker and former Army flyer. On August 11th, as the plane began its approach to the Oakland field, it fell clumsily into the bay 100 feet offshore.
Oh, God. I mean, they're not even getting... that's why people are showing up, because they literally crash at the starting line. Just come here, and you'll see them crash.
Griffin and Lundgren were unhurt, but the Pride of Los Angeles was done.
Yeah.
So,
boy, that's quite a loaded statement.
So the field had been narrowed down to 8 on the morning of August 16th.
How many have died? 7?
We've lost 3.
Okay, 3.
Lost 3. 3 dead. That's not many. Yeah. So the field had been narrowed down to 8. This is the lineup. Golden Eagle, a little monoplane which stood out because it had metal rather than a cloth-covered fuselage. The pilot was Jack Frost of New York. When they assigned him the license number NX913 and asked him whether he minded, he quipped, "Heck no, what's one more 13 in my life?" His navigator was...
He was always so great with a confusing wit like that.
He was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
His navigator was Gordon Scott, 26, from London. Aloha, the next plane, was a lemon yellow monoplane with a pink flower lie painted on the nose, whose pilot, Martin Jensen, 26, peppery little Honolulu commercial flyer, who said, quote, "I've got to make it. I'll make it or die in an attempt."
Okay. He's going to die.
Captain Paul Schluter, a seafaring man, was his navigator. Woolarock.
A seafaring man?
Yep.
I know the sea. Good. How are you in the sky? I don't know shit.
I know boats.
I know boats and water.
Hey, can I fly in your race? I know boats.
Oh, what do you mean we're flying? Oh, boy.
Next plane was Woolarock, whose pilot was Art Goebel, a big and handsome world-renowned flyer, and the stuntman from the 13 Black Cats of Hollywood. That was the name of the stunt group.
Okay.
His navigator was Lieutenant William V. Davis, Jr., an Annapolis man. Miss Doran with Mildred Pedler and Lieutenant Knaup. Oklahoma, a sister ship of the Woolarock, piloted by Bennett Griffin, a former Army flyer with Al Henley as the navigator. The Dallas Spirit, flown by Captain William P. Irwin, a World War I combat victor over 9 German planes.
Okay.
And navigated by Alvin Eckwalt, 27, of Hayward, one-time Navy seaman who survived 3 ship explosions during the war.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Is that everyone?
Nope.
Oh, Jesus.
El Encanto, a metal monoplane.
Encanto?
Yeah. Of Navy Lieutenants Norman G. Goddard and Kenneth C. Hawkins of San Diego, one of the prettiest planes, and one heavily favored in pre-race odds.
Okay, so they're not going to do it.
And Popco Flyer, whose pilot, Major Livingston Irving of Berkeley, chose to go it alone without a navigator.
All right, so I'm going to tell you who I think is going to do it.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Jack Frost.
Interesting.
I think it's going to be Jack Frost because they didn't want to have cloth near where the fuel is.
Okay, so you're voting.
I think that shows some thinking, and I think the stuntman is not going to be used to this sort of stuff. I mean, he's used to fucking up. That's his job as a stuntman for the most part.
True.
I mean, if you're putting a flower on there and suggesting that your death is one of the two options, I think you're probably a goner. Heavy favorite's not going to do it. So I'm going Jack Frost. If anyone does this thing.
There were 50,000 spectators on the foggy morning of August 16, 1927. Some people say there were 100,000. The mist-shrouded Oakland airport, drifting close above 8 little airplanes lined up in a semicircle at the head of the dusty runway. The 15 men and Mildred attended to last-minute details, adjusting bulky engines and tightening flimsy control wires. This was a great day in aviation history, and for the San Francisco Bay Area, the Pacific was about to be conquered by flight for the third time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this time, mostly in tiny airplanes with inefficient engines, no safety equipment worth mentioning, and unskilled crews.
Oh, boy. Is anyone going to make it?
Just before 11 o'clock, the sun burned through the fog, and all of them are ready to go. Mildred Doran had raspberries, toast, and coffee for breakfast and posted a letter to a friend in Flint, Michigan. "We are sure going to be the first there," she wrote. The crowd surged against the fences.
That's like the old that's like Facebook updates. That's like a Facebook update.
As the starting flag was whipped. I love they had a starting flag. Yeah. Oklahoma rumbled down the runway, struggled into the air, and the Dole race had begun.
Okay.
The crowd cheered. Next, Ellen Cantno rocked along the runway, shot to the right, swerved, and fell over on her left wing.
Immediately?
Yeah, didn't make it off the runway. Goddard and Hawkins crawled out unhurt, but the El Encanto was finished.
Jesus.
You can't fall over on your left wing.
They're probably the luckiest ones.
The Popco Flyer was next. Down the runway it went, lifting into the air, then crashing into the marshland 7,000 feet from the starting line.
Wow.
I assume people were booing at that point. I would have been boo, because one's gone up and two have just immediately not.
Booing?
Yeah, why you boo? Boo. The Golden Eagle.
It's my baby.
More of a sturdy plane than the others. The sleek plane took off smoothly and flew into the west.
Yeah.
The crowd roared as they watched a plane do what it should do.
Yeah, fly.
Next sputtered up Miss Doran, a sad little plane.
Oh, that's not a good start.
This would be like taking a rowboat to Hawaii instead of a ship. Battered, flimsy, and clumsy, the little biplane managed to take off and then return 10 minutes later.
We're done. It wasn't good.
More surprising was that the Oklahoma came back too. Something ripped in her fuselage over San Francisco, and her crew figured it was better to be safe than sorry because, huge ocean, plane, dead, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it's nice to hear that better safe than sorry was something that people did actually think.
Next went the Dallas Spirit, and just like the others, quickly returned. Something was wrong with the tail assembly.
We were just following the others.
Aloha got off all right, and so did the Woolarak. The Popco Flyer was pulled out of the marsh and ready to go again.
What? No, you don't pull it out of the marsh and then say it's ready to go again.
Yeah.
No.
They took off and once again crashed into the marsh.
Yeah. Stop. Leave them in the marsh. Don't help them.
That was it for the Popco. Miss Doran was ready to go again, too. Some reporters wrote that Mildred looked ashen and in tears as she got on the plane.
Oh, what?
The plane rose slowly, went out, and disappeared into the west.
No,
isn't that beautiful?
That's terrible.
The 22-year-old girl just weeping,
just crying, getting
knowing
into the
she's
cockpit.
about to die.
Yeah, no, not good. I mean, that ends bad.
So after all the long weeks and preparation and all the excitement, only 4 airplanes out of 15 were in the air over the Pacific that afternoon. The Golden Eagle, Aloha, Woolarak, and Miss Doran. So
I got my pony in still.
Yeah, you got your pony in the race.
Come on, Golden Eagle.
The stuntman Gobo with his navigator, Davis, got there first in the Woolarak. It took 26 hours, 17 minutes. They won the $25,000.
Damn it.
Martin Jensen, the Hawaiian, and Captain Schluter got there in 28 hours, 60 minutes, and won the $10,000 prize.
I'm noticing I haven't heard about the
Local boy.
Yeah.
Local boy.
I haven't heard about the Golden Eagle.
Oh, the Golden Eagle was never seen again.
No! My babies!
As was the Miss Dorn.
Well, that's not surprising. It's nice that the last image was her going into the rape pit.
Just weeping.
Yeah.
I'm going to die.
Okay, I understand that the people want to see a show. I'll end my life for this.
They were searched for by the U.S. Navy with 42 ships, but not a sign was found of the planes. A $10,000 reward was offered by the guy who owned the Lincoln Oil
Oh, really?
planes for Miss Dorn's recovery. I don't know what $10,000 reward. It's the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
It's not like...
Yeah, really.
It's like someone's going to stumble across you in a forest.
However, let's be honest. This was caused by them all trying to race 15 planes to Hawaii. So I think if you started a $10,000 find these planes contest, people would be like, well, shit, I'm just going to swim it.
Captain Irwin and young Eckwalt fixed the Dallas Spirit's tail assembly and took off 3 days later to finally make it to Honolulu and to help in the search for their fellow racers. So that's good.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Hey, someone's doing the right thing here.
Yeah, okay.
The Dallas Spirit was never heard from again.
Wait, no! 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 Stop the bleeding! Stop the bleeding.
That's 7 more to the Dole
That one
race.
did not need to. That was 3 days later. Like, well, we're gonna try to win this fucking thing.
They were going to go search for their buddies.
No, well, it didn't work.
That's 7 more to the Dole death race list.
Jesus.
Mildred Doran, Pedler, and Knopp, and Jack Frost and Gordon Scott. That made it 10 deaths altogether before, during, and after the race. A race that would have made them the 3rd plane to fly to Hawaii.
Good.
In Flint, Michigan, the Doran Tower was built in the Flint area in Mildred Doran's memory. It was a 3-story, 6-sided wood building. A memorial and shrine were dedicated in 1929, built by Lincoln Oil as a windmill-shaped gas station with an upstairs apartment.
What?
On airport property.
Okay, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but what did she do? Like, why? What is so celebrated?
She captured the nation's attention.
Okay, so we can just put an Amy Fisher statue somewhere.
Well, that's fine. No, that's fine that he did it because he's the one who, had her get in the plane and everything. And maybe the people in Flint were like, well, because she was brave.
I mean, she was brave, but she was seen crying.
Stupid as a fucking box of boxes.
Kind of what my point is. Not that the others were smart, but it just seems like I didn't hear that they got statues.
They didn't.
Yeah. Where's my Jack Frost statue? Where's my Gordon Scott shrub?
Fuck that thing. The building at the southeast corner of Saginaw and Maple Roads was torn down in 1973. It was then a vacant lot until 1979. Now it houses a restaurant, Dave's Country Oven. If you go there, the foundation and concrete slab of the Doran Tower are still buried under topsoil in the grass between the intersection and the restaurant sign. That's that's the memorial now.
It's gorgeous. You should open a place called Dave's Cunty Oven.
What? Why would that happen?
Because you like to say cunt.
That was a good story, right?
That's great. Yeah, I'm really.
Do you feel better about things?
No.
People and stuff like that?
Nope. Feel like that's terrible.
What a great race.
Yeah, what a great... Is it a race? Was it a race?
It was a race.
It was kind of a flight murder.
Flight murder.
Yeah.
All right.
I
hope everybody's happy.
I'm not happy.
Oh, yes, it's Gareth. Not Gary, stop it. Gare Force. Listen, I've got a bunch of stand-up shows coming up, and I want to see you there. We can hug. I will be at Rooster Teeth Feathers in Sunnyvale, California, April 18th, 19th, and 20th. Then I will be in Chattanooga, Tennessee, June 18th. I will be at Nashville, at Zanies, June 19th. I will be in Huntsville, Alabama, June 20th. I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, June 21st, June 22nd. Then I will be in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, June 26th. Then I'll be in East Providence, Rhode Island, June 27th. Then I'll be in Boston, Massachusetts, and Boston, June 28th. That's 2 shows. I will be in Springfield, Massachusetts, June 29th, Rochester, New York, June 30th, and then July 5th through the 6th. Canada, I've heard your prayers, and I will answer them. I will be in Toronto. So come join me at the Comedy Bar. Go to GarethReynolds.com for tickets and information. That's right, Gareth Force. We're calling you up. It's the big time. The big leagues. This went poorly.
The future of farming is finally here. Terraforma's TerraPod solution is proven to increase profitability of your farm by optimizing soil health and reducing future input costs. Our technology helps farmland be more sustainable and save time and money for the great Colorado farmer. Better yields, better profits, and better for the environment. Visit terraformasoil.com to get your free consultation and start farming smarter. Terraforma. Start your soil journey with us today.